So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 17 of our season 2 on F1 Manager 24. Now if you didn't watch the last episode, we did rather okay in Monza. It wasn't going to be our best circuit. We did see that Max Verstappen won the Grand Prix from Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz in P3 with Gasly and Stroll doing very well for Aston Martin. It was P13 and P17 on the day. Fittipaldi had a very good recovery drive, just couldn't quite get it into the points paying positions on a disappointing day for Liam Lawson in the Ferrari. What that means for the standings is that constructors wise, McLaren are leading Red Bull by some distance, 180 odd points, I think that is, from Red Bull. Ferrari in P3 and Aston Martin in P4. We're down in P9. We're fighting with Williams, Alpine and Kick Sauber for P6 in the constructors. It does look like Mercedes have got P5 wrapped up. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris is leading the way from his teammate Oscar Piastri, with Verstappen and Leclerc chasing behind. We can see Fittipaldi has been the 14th best driver on the grid so far this season, with Hauger down in P17. Now, some interesting news regarding driver transfers. Currently, we are in talks with local boy George Russell on becoming our main driver next year. We've sold him the dream that we are researching next year's car to an unbelievable level, and George Russell has got some interest in joining the Norfolk-based team. Being a Kings Lynn boy, of course, could be quite an interesting drive for him, so something to keep an eye on. As you can see, we're also scouting a couple of other people because of the money we have saved this season. This weekend, though, we head to Baku. I love this circuit in real life. 51 laps around here. Car attributes, top speed and acceleration. Our acceleration is very good. This may suit us. Expected strategy is normally a one-stop, but safety cars do tend to happen around here. It was a sprint race last year. It's not a sprint race this year. But ladies and gentlemen, that all being said, I'm going to get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Final laps in Q1, then, and we can see Hauger needs a stonking lap. Fittipaldi hasn't gone out again because we've got an engine penalty for tomorrow. It's not going to make any difference, so Fittipaldi stayed in. But where can Hauger put his Lotus? Can he get his car into Q2? As he crosses the line, he goes provisionally P15, but as we fast forward, will anybody else improve and knock him out in Q1? Let's have a little look. They will. Hauger will be P17 for tomorrow's race. Fittipaldi will start from the back. If we just fast forward to Q3 results, we can see Verstappen is on pole position from Carlos Sainz. It's a Red Bull front row lockout. Norris and Piastri will be chasing them down, but let's have a look what the strategy is like for Sunday. So, ladies and gentlemen, it must be said, normally the one-stop is the way to go. However, look at Fittipaldi's race time here, 1:29.16 if he really pushes these tyres and pushes the car to the maximum. Whereas if you have a look at Hauger on the one-stop, a 1:29.29, so quite a lot slower, and a 1:29.35 if he tries to pull off the one-stop. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we are going to start on the soft compound tyres for both cars. We reckon there's going to be some safety cars, and we're just going to play it by ear, but the two-stop might be the way to go. Let's get to 5 red lights.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. The Sauber driver knows this could be a good chance to really prove themselves.
They've done well to secure a P9 start, and they'll be keen to convert that into some points.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. This is what you've been waiting for. It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and we can see Verstappen on the medium compounder tyre. How crucial can that be? But he got a belting start into turn 1. The two McLarens side by side. But we're going to straight away take a look at Dennis Hauger, who looks like he got a belting start, and he's already in to P14, just behind Ricciardo and Tsunoda, whereas Sargent got a sneaky little move up the inside there into P14. Hauger back down into the place in which he started. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi P18 started okay. We've set both targets for around 20th to 18th in this race for the performance sponsors targets. Be interesting to see if we can get that, but early doors it is Verstappen leading from Sainz, and as you were, it's Red Bull versus McLaren. Dennis Hauger has had a difficult start to this race. As you can see, Esteban Ocon managing to get past him on the soft compound side. It's a nice move into the chicane, sticks it down the inside, gets his elbows out, and Ocon is now down with his teammate down in P17. So Hauger P17, Fittipaldi in P18, both giving chase to Esteban Ocon at this moment in time. We're just going to settle into this race a little bit, keep his batteries charged up, try something a little bit different, but at the front, Verstappen and Sainz pulling away. Lap 5, Fittipaldi starting to make some moves, and as you can see, DRS wide open, makes the move onto the inside, into turn 1. Lovely work from Enzo Fittipaldi. He's now behind his teammate Dennis Hauger. There is a little bit of a gap as we just cut back to the live action, because you can see Fittipaldi's actually already got Hauger, but these two sharing a little bit of DRS at this moment in time. The two-stop might be the way to go with the two Lotus cars today. We'll see if that is what we choose to do, but 3.6 seconds to Sargent. These two could really do with not fighting each other and just chasing down the cars in front. Both cars got DRS at this moment in time, sharing it, but as you can see, Fittipaldi and Hauger DRS wide open, and by the time we get to the left-hander, he's got the job done. Lap 6, Sainz now leads. We have a red flag, and these things can quite easily happen in Baku. I'm not quite sure who has had the incident. I'm looking at it must be Charles Leclerc who has had the issue. Let's have a little look here. Into turn 3, he's currently running in P6. He just carries on and smashes the car up. It's in the middle of the track. There's nothing we can do about that. Now we will be looking at what tyres we go on to next.
All drivers have taken their positions again. Once more, they're ready to race. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. We went for the medium compounder tyre with both our cars because we did think that once we got towards the end, we can go soft, medium, soft. I think that's possibly the way to go. We have got a set of fresh soft compound tyres, 2 sets of fresh soft compound tyres. Soft compound, my words, get me teeth in. Lando Norris in P4, just picking up a mechanical fault at this moment in time. But Fittipaldi and Hauger straight away making moves here. You can see that Hauger is under pressure from Hülkenberg at this moment in time. Let's keep an eye on the young driver because he gets his elbows out, shoves Hülkenberg a little bit. Has he managed to get this move done as we flick to behind? He has. Hauger up to P15, Fittipaldi P14, Liam Lawson in a Ferrari down in P13 again when his teammate is out of the Grand Prix. There's a lot of pressure on Lawson, but rightly so. He's driving for Ferrari. Is this present versus future? George Russell in the Mercedes has just overtaken Dennis Hauger. Maybe Dennis Hauger won't be driving in a Lotus next year and George Russell will. Who knows? But Russell now up. I don't really know what he's doing back there, George Russell, if it must be said. Maybe he's just getting some practice in for next year. Who knows? But Fittipaldi's just lost the DRS of Liam Lawson and now has been overtaken by Hülkenberg. But now hopefully he can stay in the DRS of this car and this will tow him back up to the back of that scarlet red Ferrari. Lap 13, Verstappen still leads from Sainz. Piastri is in P3, Norris in P4, then comes Gasly, Stroll, Perez, Bottas in P8, Porsche for Kick Sauber in P9. Sterling job so far with Alexander Albon in P10. We've got a crash on circuit and we've had a very, very angry Dennis Hauger on the phone. So let's see what happens. You can see Logan Sargent. We don't really get a view of what has happened there. There's some heavy breathing. I'm wondering if Hauger went into the back of him. I can't see any damage on Hauger's car. He's just got very low confidence at the moment. So Hauger down in P18 now. All eyes turn to Enzo Fittipaldi to see if points are possible for Lotus today. George Russell has overtaken Fittipaldi. To be fair, Mercedes versus Lotus. Mercedes normally wins out in that little battle. He certainly did here. DRS enabled as well, just for good measure. And to be honest with you, Fittipaldi didn't really fight it so much. So Fittipaldi now down to P15. Russell in P14. Lawson still in P13. Fittipaldi can see the points, but it's going to take a lot of work to get in them. Bring you back on lap 20. Alexander Albon has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Very, very impressive indeed from Alexander Albon. And P6 for a Williams. My word, is he doing very, very well. Porsche's now dropped out of the points spree. He's on the hard compounder tyre. Fittipaldi has dropped out of the DRS of Russell, but him and Hülkenberg are fighting away, trying to get back up to the Mercedes. Hauger down in P20. It's looking a very, very tough day for him. We've had another crash on circuit, and this time it's Yuki Tsunoda in the Alpine against the Sauber. I believe that is a Porsche, and it's just a little bit messy from both of them. Sonoda not very happy at that moment in time either. So Sonoda now got damage, one would presume. Let's have a little look. He's definitely got a damaged end plate, and my word, he nearly went into the arm core there. Lawson's still in P12, Fittipaldi in P16, tagging onto the back of Russell. He's doing okay to stay in the DRS. That is what Fittipaldi's doing. If our cars can stay out of trouble, you never know, we might be alright today. Whereas Dennis Hauger, P20, 3.8 seconds to Veste. It's all looking very, very grim for our young driver. But lap 24, Verstappen still leads from Sainz, and then there is an 11-second gap to Oscar Piastri. There is a safety car starting, and for me, that has meant getting both cars in for the hard compound tyre, and it looks like there's a few cars had the same idea. We're just going to see Frederick Veste crashing at turn 7. Let's have a little look at this. Here comes Veste, P18, running at this moment in time, and yeah, just not very good at all, that was it. Not very good at all. But into the pits comes Piastri, Gasly. There is a lot coming in. We're just waiting for Fittipaldi to come round at the next couple of corners. We'll fast forward on. Is everybody coming into the pits? It makes sense to, in my opinion. As we fast forward on, we can see Fittipaldi now getting close to the pit lane. Everyone who's anyone is in to the pits. I think Sainz and Verstappen just about missed it. We can see Lawson there getting a decent stop with the Ferrari guys, and in comes Enzo Fittipaldi for his stop. My word, did he get round that pit entrance very, very quickly indeed. We can see everyone in. Hauger's still got a bit to go before he gets there. Let's have a look how this plays out. Are we going to get a decent stop? Very decent stop, 2.7 seconds, but he's held a little bit, but that is fine. He will come out. Will Fittipaldi taxiing down the pit lane into P15. He will be behind Hülkenberg. Hauger is into the pits. Let's see if this is a decent stop as well, because if it is, then we can come back to green flag running in a few moments' time. We can see Hauger. Is it a decent stop? Didn't look quite as quick, 2.6 seconds. We'll take that all day. We'll charge the battery up and we'll come back when we're back to green flag running. We are about to go racing once again. We can see the safety car just about to come in. We've got people on soft compound tyres. We've got people on mediums. We've got people on hards. We've followed the Max Verstappen Oscar Piastri route down at Team Lotus. We reckon that that might be the way to go. But as we can see, Carlos Sainz will lead us away when he decides to go. We're going to ride on board with Max Verstappen. We can see Carlos Sainz at the moment taking his time. And then he goes, and Max Verstappen got a decent restart as well. And he's going to pick up the slipstream from his teammate Carlos Sainz. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and will Max Verstappen fancy a move early doors? He's pulled to the inside, then drifts back in. Probably deciding not to make a move, or probably to defend against Oscar Piastri. Meanwhile, Enzo Fittipaldi, P15, probably the best chance of points today for Team Lotus at this moment on the hard compounder tyre. Hauger down in P19. He'll be glad that Vesti and Leclerc have gained him a couple of free positions, but Fittipaldi P16 looks like the man who can make it happen today. The soft compounds are smoking the hard compound tyres at the minute, as we can see with Esteban Ocon here managing. Look at the grip he's got around the outside. Esteban Ocon in that Williams managing to get the move done on on Dennis Hauger, whereas Fittipaldi is burning everything to try and get back in the DRS of Yuki Tsunoda at this moment in time. 32 Verstappen leads from Sainz. The hard compound tyres should be very strong towards the end. I was just going to come back to show you Enzo Fittipaldi overtaking Logan Sargent, but what these are doing is Logan Sargent is using his soft compounder tyres, and that is trying to drag us up to the cars in front, whereas obviously Fittipaldi on the hards, we can go for days towards the end of this Grand Prix. The points are looking a little bit out of reach today. Bottas may have a penalty coming by the looks of that as well. Hauger's down in P18. That looks like its job pretty much done for Hauger today. But Fittipaldi in P17 is a lot closer and just tagging up to the back of a struggling George Russell in a very faulty Mercedes. Well, we did say we'd use Logan Sargent's soft compound tyres, and it looks like Logan Sargent had used Logan Sargent's soft compound tyres, because he's gone spinning off, and Logan Sargent is out of... Oh, he's not out. He's amazingly managed to get the car going again. He's still in front of Hauger, but Hauger will be putting him under a lot of pressure at this moment in time. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi now has just managed to get George Russell. Are we going to get a replay of this? And now this really is hammer time for Fittipaldi, because the cars in front of him, their tyres are dying and his are not. Fittipaldi, as you can see here, managing to get past Russell. DRS wide open. Lovely manoeuvre from Enzo Fittipaldi. And now let's have a look at where we are, because we can see Bottas is there. The points are in sight. for Enzo Fittipaldi. We are now saying full attack mode for the rest of this Grand Prix. Burn those hard compound tyres and get us a point, Enzo. Fittipaldi is on one hell of a charge, ladies and gentlemen. Teo Porcher has just dropped back, and we can see another Mercedes. That is the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas at this moment in front of us. Fittipaldi is enjoying himself now. He has got 4 laps to get a point. He's now in P12. He's 2.8 seconds to Hülkenberg. This is where he must use these tyres. He's got to go full attack mode, try and catch Lawson, and then possibly hope that Hülkenberg or Ricciardo's tyres die of death on the final lap. Helga pushing on at this moment in time. P17, could he catch Russell? I think that is a little bit optimistic. At the front, Verstappen 4.1 seconds clear of Carlos Sainz. Piastri in P3, Gasly and Stroll again, the Aston Martins. We love to see it in P4 and P5, but Enzo Fittipaldi, could you score a point in Baku? There's been a crash, but then there's just been a crash involving one of our cars. We will take you back to the live action very, very shortly, but Esteban Ocon spinning off at the final corner. Now, Enzo Fittipaldi was on the charge. He's still on the charge because it was Liam Lawson who crashed into the back of Fittipaldi. Let's have a little look at this. It was very, very disappointing for Liam Lawson. He pulled to the inside of Fittipaldi for not a chance in El Sunshine. You might have been the #1 driver last year, but I am the #1 driver this year. Superb work. That Ferrari getting a bit of debris. We can see that's disappointment in the Ferrari garage. They are going to score 0, yes, 0 points this afternoon. But Enzo Fittipaldi is 1.1 seconds behind Hülkenberg and pushing to catch. Final lap of the Grand Prix in Baku. Enzo Fittipaldi is going to score a point today. Is he going to score 2 points? Because Daniel Ricciardo is the man that is stopping him from doing it, and he gets past him beautifully. Does Enzo Fittipaldi? He's past the Australian driver now. Of course, Ricciardo will get DRS down here, but has he got the tyres to combat Fittipaldi? It looks like he might do. He looks like he's going to get past him, and he certainly is. Daniel Ricciardo, he's passed once again. He's passed the young Brazilian driver of Enzo Fittipaldi. Now, Fittipaldi just taking everything into account here. He is going to get a run up to the line. It's pretty much job done, as you can see in the top 10 with Verstappen, Sainz and Piastri in the top 3. The Aston Martins in 4th and 5th. But here is Enzo Fittipaldi. He's dispatched Nico Hülkenberg. Liam Lawson's Ferrari is going to be lucky to make it to the end of this Grand Prix. But can Enzo Fittipaldi get himself close enough to overtake Daniel Ricciardo? It looks at the minute as though he's struggling a little bit to keep up with Daniel Ricciardo, who seems to be deploying a little bit of DRS. And has he managed to actually get him out of DRS range? How crucial could that be for Daniel Ricciardo? It looks like he has. And Fittipaldi is not going to get a run of DRS down to the start-finish line. How disappointing is that? Dennis Hauger, P17, he's really burnt up these hard compound tyres. But Fittipaldi, what a charge, what a drive in this Lotus to get it back into the point Spain positions. A single point could be also crucial. And as we ride on board with that young Brazilian driver, you can see there is an RB behind him, but no doubt that Fittipaldi today has been absolutely outstanding, and he will score a point for Lotus in Baku. Brilliant in Baku for Fittipaldi. My word, did he deserve that. Hauger will come across the line. He will come across the line. P17, he will get the sponsorship money, which is all important as we look towards next year. But my word, let's get to the podium. What a race that was.
Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
Win number 5 is in the bag. They pulled out all the stops, pushing hard to earn that victory.
Red Bull absolutely dominant in Baku. Fair play to them. We can't fault them at all. Fantastic to see. Look at Carlos Sainz in a Red Bull livery as well. Imagine what that could have been in real life. But Max Verstappen wins. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 26 points. Job done for Max. Carlos Sainz in P2. Piastri in P3. Then came Gasly and Stroll. Aston Martin strong again. Perez P6 in the Alpine. Norris in P7. How crucial could that be to his title hopes? Alexander Albon in P8. Ricciardo P9. And Enzo Fittipaldi in P10. Hülkenberg P11. Dennis Hauger P17 didn't have the best of days. Zhou Guanyu, Frederic Veste and Charles Leclerc did not complete the Grand Prix. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris is still leading, but only by 37 points from his teammate Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen in P3, Leclerc in P4. We drop down a little bit to see Fittipaldi on 8 points now for Team Lotus for this season, 4 points behind Theo Pourchaire. Dennis Hauger is in P17 with just a solitary point in his rookie season. Constructor standings wise, McLaren are still top, 637 points for them. I still can't do the maths on how far ahead of Red Bull they are. Ferrari in P3, Aston Martin in P4, Alpine now 24 points. Jump Williams in the standings. We get a single point that keeps us ahead of Visa Cash App RB. Ladies and gentlemen, my word, let me know what you thought of that charge from Enzo Fittipaldi at the end. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. We've got a lot of big things building for next season. We are researching the hell out of next season's car. So next season, we want to be fighting for a title. Optimistic? Let me know down in the comments, but please do like and subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. Ta-ra!